What's going on YouTube? It's Chris here from Friendly Frenzy Games, and today I'm going to show you how to unlock the Grand Collector of Arms trophy and achievement in Crimson Desert for completing all 10 special equipment challenges. Also, if you've been following along with the rest of this series, by the end of the video you'll unlock the Unvanquished Strategist trophy and achievement as well for completing all of the Mastery Challenge sets in Crimson Desert. Now, as a quick note, I would highly recommend having completed the entire story before attempting to complete these challenges, since about half of the entire set is locked behind main story progression. These first 5 challenges can be completed, in theory anyways, before the end of the game. First, let's start with Vessel of Dark Pursuit. Head to this shrine along the path in the north of Payloon, slightly north of Totemfelt, to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to kill 100 enemies with the Vessel of Dark Pursuit. Now, this sword is a quest reward for defeating the Antumbra's sword boss at the Sanctum of Absolution in southwestern Hernand. Once you've obtained the weapon, equip it and travel to a blockaded area with some low-level enemies, then start attacking as quickly as possible. If it's a smaller area, something like Fort Hellwood, kill the larger groups of enemies and skip the small ones. To rack up kills even quicker, respawn at the nearby waypoint to reset the fort, and repeat the process until you've killed 100 enemies. From here, unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Vessel of Dark Pursuit. Next, we have Marni Laser Helm. Head to this shrine along the path in the Dewhaven region of southwestern Delecia, slightly north of the Sanctum of Devotion, to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to hit 5 enemies with Marni Laser Helm's laser. Now, you can find this special helmet in a room on the southwest side of Marni's Masterium in the far southeast of Delecia on a small table. Once you've grabbed the helm, equip it and travel to a blockaded area. To use the laser, press and hold left and right trigger or L2 and R2 at the same time to mark your targets before the laser releases. Wait out the timer and repeat the process until you've hit a total of 5 enemies with the laser attack, then unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Marni Laser Helm. Now we'll have to find Lightning Bolt Plate Armor. Head to the shrine along the path on the Crow Talon Isle in eastern Delecia, slightly southeast of Marni's Laboratorium Gate, to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to obtain the Lightning Bolt Plate Armor. Now, this special armor is a quest reward for completing the Fallen God quest after defeating the Titan boss in the Star Clan faction questline. To get access to this quest, though, you are going to need to have completed the Payloon Militia, Bayen Tribe, Skoghorn Tribe, and Longleaf Tribe faction questlines. You're also going to need to have activated the Ancient Barrier in the Master of Thunder questline for the Star Clan faction to wake up the Titan. Now, through the first 2 phases of the fight, you can attack him as you would any other boss. Then on the third and final phase, stand close to the edge to get him to use his fist attacks more often. Hit his exposed hands to deal the most damage in this section, then rinse and repeat until he's defeated and you can unseal the artifact to complete Lightning Bolt Plate Armor. Then we have the Bismuth Spear. Head to this shrine along the path in the Silver Wolf Mountain region of northern Payloon, slightly west of the Svinholt Ranch, to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to defeat 30 enemies with the Bismuth Spear. Now, after defeating the Queen Bismuth Orback Crab boss, you can find this special weapon in a room amongst the rubble and a grindstone at the Well of Enlightenment, which is in the Valley of Grief region of the Crimson Desert. You're also likely going to need more than 1 Bismuth Spear to complete this challenge, so if you do, you can send your comrades on an expedition to produce one at the Well of Enlightenment every 4 in-game hours. Then, with the spear equipped, travel to a blockaded area and swing heavy attacks on tight groupings of low-level, unshielded enemies to kill quickly and preserve as much durability as possible. Once you've killed your 30th enemy this way, unseal the artifact to complete Bismuth Spear. Lastly, for the pre-research section of challenges, we have Knuckledrill. Head to this shrine along the path in the Crimson Mountains region of the Crimson Desert, slightly southwest of the Fallen Abyss, to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to hit the explosion from the overheated Knuckledrill 5 times. Now you likely already have this item from defeating Excavatron as part of the Stolen Quarry quest in the early game. However, if you don't have it any longer, you can send comrades on an expedition to the Karen Quarry in Hernand to produce 1 Knuckledrill every 4 in-game hours. You will need to have completed the story though so that you can conduct electrical tool design research in the 2nd level of Dewhaven Keep's research tree in Delecia. Then, travel to a blockaded area with armored enemies, like the Flame Knight's Castle in Demonis, then press and hold right trigger or R2 with the Mining Knuckledrill equipped to attack some unshielded enemies. After a few seconds of holding that attack, the drill's going to overheat and kick back. After you've hit 5 enemies on that kickback attack, unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Knuckledrill. Now, you may have noticed that the Knuckledrill can also be collected by sending comrades on expedition missions after completing the required research at Dewhaven Keep. With that same research, we can grab and collect the Lightning Spear challenge. Head to this shrine along the path in the Sovereign Wastes region in the south of the Crimson Desert, slightly southwest of the Wasteland Cliff Watchtower to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to defeat 30 enemies with the Lightning Spear. You're first going to need to have finished the story so that you're able to conduct electrical tool design research in the 2nd level of Dewhaven Keep's research tree in Delecia. Once completed, you can send comrades on an expedition to produce a Lightning Spear from the Steel Spike Armory in Delecia every 4 in-game hours. Alternatively, you can also craft it from a blueprint at a smithy once you've completed the 1st level of research at Dewhaven Keep. Regardless, you will likely want an extra spear or 2 to finish this challenge, since the spear itself is fairly weak. Then, travel to a blockaded area and find a tight group of low-level, unshielded enemies to get the most out of your spear. After you've killed your 30th enemy, unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Lightning Spear. Let's do the same thing with research in Gorthok for Flamespitter. But first, head to this shrine along the path in the Trader's Expanse region in the north of the Crimson Desert, slightly southeast of the Varnia Salt Road camp to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to burn 10 enemies within 15 seconds using the Flamespitter. Now, you're first going to need to have progressed into Chapter 12 of the story so that you're able to conduct weapon heat treatment research in Level 2 of Gorthok's Zargan Tank Works research tree in Delecia. Once completed, you can send comrades on an expedition to produce 1 Flamespitter from Gorthok Ironworks in Delecia every 4 in-game hours. Now, you might want to produce 1 or 2 extra in case it takes you a few tries to complete this challenge. Then, equip the electromagnetic Flamespitter and travel to a blockaded area to seek out a tight group of enemies in a confined place. Use left trigger or L2 to aim the nozzle, then press and hold right trigger or R2 to ignite enemies. After you've scorched at least 10 enemies in 15 seconds, unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Flamespitter. Again, with that same research, we can pick up Shotgun Shield. Head to this shrine along the path slightly northeast of the Iron Barrel Armory in the east of Demonis to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to defeat 30 enemies with the Shotgun Shield. You're first going to need to have finished the story so that you're able to conduct weapon heat treatment research in Level 2 of Gorthok's Zargan Tank Works research tree in Delecia. Once completed, you can send comrades on an expedition to produce 1 Shotgun Shield from the Aeronautical Research Base in Delecia every 4 in-game hours. Now, you're likely going to need 3 to 4 shields here to eliminate 30 enemies, as this thing is pretty weak. Then, travel to a blockaded area with unshielded, low-level enemies to get the most out of the shield's durability. Using a combination of the shield's Iron Wrath ability and Shield Bash with left bumper and right trigger, or L1 and R2, land killing blows on 30 enemies and unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Shotgun Shield. Now, the last location that we need to complete research at is the Erdova Great Gate in Erdova for Propeller Spear. But first, let's head to the shrine along the path in the Trader's Expanse region in the north of the Crimson Desert, slightly northeast of the Desert Lake Gold Mine to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to hit 5 enemies at once with the Propeller Spear's wind attack. Now, you're first going to need to have progressed into Chapter 12 of the story so that you're able to conduct wind energy fusion device research in the 2nd level of Erdova Great Gate's research tree. Once completed, you can send comrades on an expedition to produce one Propeller Spear from Helm in the Crimson Desert every 4 in-game hours. Alternatively, if you have completed the story, you can complete the first level of research in Delecia to obtain the Propeller Spear blueprint so that you're able to craft it at a smithy. Then travel to a blockaded area and find a tight group of enemies. Then essentially all you need to do is swing the spear with right trigger or R2 to perform Gale Burst, and once you hit 5 enemies at once, unseal the Abyss artifact to complete Propeller Spear. With that same research, again, we can finish the last challenge of the Special Equipment Mastery set, Gale Shield. Head to this shrine along the path in the far east of Demonis, slightly northwest of the Demonis barracks to collect the Sealed Abyss artifact. For this challenge, you'll need to defeat 30 enemies with the Gale Shield. You're first going to need to have progressed into Chapter 12 of the story so that you're able to conduct wind energy fusion device research in the Level 2 of Erdava's Great Gates research tree. Once completed, you can send comrades on an expedition to produce one Gale Shield from Helm in the Crimson Desert every 4 in-game hours. Now you're going to likely need 4 to 5 shields here to eliminate 30 enemies, as this thing is very weak. Then travel to a blockaded area with unshielded, low-level enemies to get the most out of this shield's durability. Using a combination of the shield's Stormy Retribution ability and Shield Bash with left bumper and right trigger, or L1 and R2, land killing blows on 30 enemies and unseal the Abyss artifact to complete the challenge, and ultimately obtain the Grand Collector of Arms trophy and achievement. Now that's it for this video. I hope that it was able to help you. If it did, give it a like, give it some hype, and drop a comment. While you're here, subscribe to Friendly Frenzy Games for many more Crimson Desert guides just like this one.